Good evening, I'm Eric Singer, Gazette.com. Friday night is a great night for football, and it's time for your Gazette Prep Game of the Week live on Gazette.com.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Monument, Colorado and Northern Colorado Springs for high school football once again here on the Gazette.com live. I'm George Holden, along with, as always, my partner, Jeffrey Orman, AJ on the boards, and Travis doing stats. It should be a fun one here tonight. Jeffrey, District 38, Don Breeze Stadium. We've both called games here before. It's a little different tonight. Both of these teams use this stadium and see it as home turf. Tonight, the Palmer Ridge Bears Class 4A, they are the home team. Lewis Palmer's had this stadium for years. A little bit of a grudge match if when you look at it that way.
Well, you know, the Bears put up a banner right across the way that says "Protect this house." If I'm Lewis Palmer, I'm a little upset about that. They are playing for something tonight, George. They'll be playing for the General Palmer Cup, which is awarded to what they call the Black and Blue Bowl champion. Lewis Palmer won the cup in 2010 and 2011. Palmer Ridge won it last year. It's on display in the south end zone, and that will give both of these teams a little more intensity when they hit the field.
Well said, Jeff Roman. I'm George Holden. Again, you are listening live on Gazette.com. And for more sports with us, you can follow us on Twitter at Gazette Preps for more high school sports coverage right here in the Colorado Springs area. Tonight's game also, you look at both of these teams, as I said, 4A versus 3A. Both teams coming out to center field for the coin toss. The home team tonight, Palmer Ridge, the Bears in navy and gold. Lewis Palmer, the Rangers, the visiting team, there in the white, orange, and black. And Jeffrey, when you look at this game, you would look at it for the Palmer Ridge Bears. They've been pretty balanced on the offensive side of the football for the first two games. They're taking care of the Bear necessities, I guess you could look at it like that. With 230 yards receiving, 217 yards rushing, it doesn't get more balanced than that.
Absolutely, and on the other side of that, Lewis Palmer's going to go to the run. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for Palmer Ridge. They're averaging 45 points per game offensively, while surrendering only 14 defensively. Lewis Palmer on the other side, 39 points per game offensively, 16 points per game defensively. Now, Lewis Palmer will be bringing in a young man that we're going to be taking a long look at. His name is Nick Pavlik, 39 carries, 408 yards, 2 touchdowns. He is number 3 in the state in the Class 3A in that statistic. And when you put 408 yards together, what does that tell you? He's averaging 200 yards per game. On the other side of the football, Palmer Ridge, the man that Lewis Palmer is going to be looking at is going to be the quarterback, Isaiah Sanders. 446 yards and 4 touchdowns passing. He also has rushed for 162 yards and 4 touchdowns. That makes him 11th in the state. And as a matter of fact, an interesting statistic here is that 13 touchdowns have been scored by the Bears. He's accounted for 8 of them as we get set for our national anthem.
Well said, Jeffrey Orman. We're going to stand now and recognize the national anthem here at Don Breeze Stadium. Everybody, that was the national anthem here at Don Breeze Stadium tonight. 4A versus 3A. The Palmer Ridge Bears undefeated at 2-0. The Lewis Palmer Rangers also undefeated at 2-0 in Class 3A. They are the 8th ranked team in the state of Colorado. We'll take a quick break to recognize one of our sponsors here, High Point Roofing. High Point Roofing is your lifeline after the storm. High Point Roofing's pledge to you is simple. Get repairs first, right the first time. High Point Roofing, 719-375-8850. One call means peace of mind for you and your family. And we're getting set for the kickoff here. And we talked about it too, Jeffrey. You were talking about the quarterback Isaiah Sanders for Palmer Ridge. He also on the season thus far has a quarterback rating of 119.7. He is playing inspired football. He's managing the clock well. He's got, you said, 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception in the first 2 games. So we're going to be looking at the Bears and the Rangers. Rangers are going bear hunting tonight. The Bears have invaded Ranger territory. This should be a good one. Both sides are packed tonight here for this football game. Gives you a little bit of a small town atmosphere for high school football.
Absolutely, and I'm going to tell you what, I think one of the things we'll be looking at is, and you talked to one of the coaches just prior to the game tonight, speed. Now, I don't know how you scout speed. You try to contain it, and the Bears have plenty of it. They will be the favorite going into tonight's game, but I'm telling you right now, clock management, Pavlik, if he has a big night running the football, I think Lewis Palmer can take home the cup.
And Lewis Palmer getting set, kicking off from the 40. We are underway at Don Breeze Stadium. And the kick, here we go, from the 10-yard line. He's got a lane and breaks 1 tackle. He's across to the 42-yard line for the Palmer Ridge Bears. That's number 24, Colin Ambrose, a 6'1", 175-pound senior. Follows the middle wedge, and it's going to be good real estate to start for the Palmer Ridge Bears, Jeffrey.
About a 37-yard return to start the game, and now we will see the Bears go into action 1st and 10 from their 42-yard line. And we're going to be focusing on the quarterback tonight, Mr. Sanders. This man seems to be the trigger man for the Bears. Let's see how he operates against this Lewis Palmer defense.
Just underway here at Don Breeze Stadium for high school football on Gazette.com live. Glad you could join us. I'm George Holden. He's Jeffrey Orman. Expecting a pretty good one here tonight. Palmer Ridge will start. First play of the game on offense, out of the shotgun motion. Twins receiver to the far side, 1 receiver to the near side. The snap. Sanders, he's rolls to the left, steps up. He's gonna be dropped and sacked. He's gonna lose yardage. He rolled to the far side, Jeffrey. That is a coverage sack by the Lewis Palmer Rangers.
And a great blitz called at the start of the game. And the first man to come in was Blake Creasy. He is a 5'10", 193-pounder. He led the attack, and here come the Bears on a 2nd and long.
So they lose 3, 2nd and 13 from the 40. Sanders out of the shotgun. Looks for the screen, but he's going to try to run up inside. No, they're not having it. The Rangers defense, they are scouting early and often.
Excellent play. I'm not sure if he saw somebody that was covered, and he decided, I think I better take off with this thing. And Charlie Young, 6'1", 183 pounds, he said, son, you come to me.
3rd and 11, only a gain of 2. Big 3rd down on the opening drive here for Palmer Ridge. Straight drop Sanders. He had time, but in pockets collapsing. He's on the run. Fires with a wide open receiver at the 20. Down to the 10. He's gone. Touchdown. 3rd play of the game. The Palmer Ridge Bears. That was number 23, Bailey Rosenstrach. 5'11", 166-pounder, all by his lonesome on the near sideline.
What a great throw, what a great catch, and better than that, Sanders with great escapability. That's his 5th touchdown pass of the year, and I'm telling you what, a 58-yard strike. The Bears are on the board right at the get-go.
2 good plays defensively by the Lewis Palmer Rangers, and Sanders shows a little bit of that mobility. Floats, breaks a tackle, steps up, doesn't give up on the play, and finds his receiver at the opposing 20 wide open and waltzes in for the touchdown, getting set for the PAT. Snap, down, kick is up, through and true, and guess what? Just like that in 3 plays, the Palmer Ridge Bears take the lead 7-0 early in the first quarter, 10:48 left to play. We'll take a quick break here on the Gazette.com to hear from our sponsors.
Football is a rough contact sport. So is Colorado's damaging hail, pounding rain, and snow. High Point Roofing to the rescue when your home is damaged. High Point Roofing's pledge to you is simple. Work with you and your insurance company to get the most repairs for your home. Get it right the first time. One call means peace of mind. High Point Roofing, 719-375-8850. 719-375-8850.
Welcome back, everybody, to Don Breeze Stadium. Opening moments of this game. The 3rd play from scrimmage, the Palmer Ridge Bears quarterback Isaiah Sanders fires a rifle shot down the near sideline to his wide open Bear receiver that trotted in for the touchdown. And I guess I'll say this, Jeffrey. It looks like Isaiah Sanders and his wide receiver found a bear path to the end zone.
Well, they got out of the bear trap, that's for sure.
Here we go. A lot of that tonight. Here comes Lewis Palmer bringing out the kickoff. That is number 25. That is Noah Sathry, 5'8", 139-pound senior. Gets it back up to about the 29-yard line. Well, they'll start. But, Jeffrey, if that's any indication of what that Palmer Ridge offense can do, like you said earlier, Pavlik and this Lewis Palmer offense have got to find a way to get it done on the ground.
Well, let's see how we go as we get the first play from scrimmage. Lewis Palmer with the ball.
I formation, play action fake, fires in the flat. He's got his receiver, but met immediately. Pass is caught by number 7, Dayton Madison, 5'11", 180-pound junior on the quick out route. They're going to pick up 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 33. Clock 10:26 and running here in the first quarter.
Man that just caught the touchdown pass also makes the first tackle defensively. Bailey Rosenstrauch as the Bears lead at 7-0 here in the early going.
Here we go. I formation again, standard. The dive play through the middle, and he's still running. Tough run. He's going to get a first down. That looks like the fullback. The dive to the left side between the center and the guard. Big number 44. That's Charlie Young, 6'1", 183-pounder. Nice physical, aggressive run. He's going to move the sticks for the Rangers.
I'm guessing he is the thunder to Pavlik's lightning. So we will see exactly. And this is what they need to do. They need to get that initial first down and keep the rhythm going. They've been hit early, and now it's their turn.
I formation off tackle to the near side. He's going to spin, but he is tackled. That's number 29. That's Pavlik. He'll pick up a couple. 2nd down. We knew that coming in. Lewis Palmer, one of the best rushing teams in the state in Class 3A. They've struggled in the passing game. And Palmer Ridge, very athletic in that secondary. They can hawk balls out of the air. And Lewis Palmer knows that. They're going to stick with it. The standard I formation, one receiver split to each side. Straight drop, quick drop, fires over the middle. He's got his receiver. He is close to another first down. That is number 7, Dayton Madison again, the junior, with a quick shot, quick hitch right over the middle. Quick hitter. Good balance early on offense by Lewis Palmer.
They've run 4 plays, 2 passes, 2 runs. Excellent balance.
9:04 in this first quarter. Palmer Ridge up with an early lead, 7-0, but Lewis Palmer is moving. 3rd and 2 from the 48. The misdirection to Pavlik. He's going to be brought down at the opposing 49. I think he's going to get the first down, Jeffrey.
Well, let's see where they will make the spot. Coming up to make the tackle for the Bears is Peyton Bauer.
Yep, 1st and 10 from the 49. So they are officially, Lewis Palmer is officially in Palmer Ridge territory.
And I go back to something I said a little bit earlier. We've seen that the Bears go with a quick strike. I maintain Lewis Palmer has got to control the clock, and they're doing exactly what they need to be doing right now.
Smash mouth football, I formation. Again, off tackle. Here comes Pavlik. Good hole! Bounces through, and it looked like he lost control of the football.
He did.
He was met in the hole. Wow, you talk about dodging a bullet early, going down 7-0 with a good drive. Pavlik takes a shot, gets jarred, ball pops out. But fortunately, one of the Rangers is Johnny on the spot with the recovery.
Well, I'm not exactly sure who covered it, but it might have been Charlie Young, who was pretty close to the football. So a little bit of an anxious moment for the Rangers, but they still maintain possession.
Pick up a 6, 2nd and 4. The dive play, again to the fullback. Between the center and guard on the left side, they like that quick hitter. And they'll pick up a couple. It'll be 3rd down and short.
Charlie Young, the ball carrier, coming up to get him is Chase Dukes. You got to love that name. That's a good football name.
Yep.
3rd down and short, I'm sending Pavlik.
Yep. And here we go. 3rd and a very important one for the Lewis Palmer Rangers if they want to keep pace with this high-octane offense of Palmer Ridge. Got to pick this up here. Here we go. Once again, I formation. The dive. The same play that went back to it. I think he's got enough. Nice job by the offensive line with getting a good surge forward. And the sticks are going to move, and the drive will still alive, Jeffrey.
And you mentioned something that looked like an off-balance line with power to the left, but they hit on the right. And, George, you're calling it exactly right. Get the ball, snap, go. I mean, there's not a lot of holding the ball out for the entire world to see. He's just putting it right in the belly of the running back, and they're executing it well. This is a good, long drive that Lewis Palmer has got going right now. As a matter of fact, this will be the 9th play of the drive.
Clock closing in on 7 minutes in the first quarter. Lewis Palmer, I formation again, drops back, fires. He's going to overshoot his intended target, number 25, Noah Sept. It was a good route, but he overshoots, pulls the trigger a little too soon. Again, we've talked about it. Lewis Palmer has not been an effective passing team in the first 2 games, but they want to find a way to find balance and keep this Palmer Ridge defense on their heels.
Exactly right, and you don't want to get too far behind the Bears because of that exact reason. The passing game is not their strength, but their running game. 7 minutes in the first period.
Kevin Timms, he's going to run the option. Quick pitch to the far side. He is hit, and the ball is free. Tackle coming up. The linebacker from Palmer Ridge, near foot, near shoulder. We've seen an aggressive defense by Palmer Ridge.
Peyton Bauer just put a bubble under his nose on that tackle, and I think they just gave up the football, and it's all Peyton Bauer. I think he got the forced fumble, and I think he also got the recovery. If I'm looking at this right, no, I guess they did gain possession of the football. My bad, but Peyton Bauer got the first light up of the game.
If you look at the scoreboard here at Don Breeze Stadium, they have a picture of Donald Trump, and he says, yeah, straight drop out of the I formation. Good time, fires in the flat. It is picked off, and he is off to the races. Green sailing, 30 pairs, number 23, and that is Bailey Rosenstrauch, the senior. That ball was telegraphed. He had a beeline on it and said good night down the sideline.
65 yards on the return by the guy who just caught the touchdown on offense. He now has 1 on defense, and the Bears are off to a flying start here as they lead it 13-0 at Don Breeze.
Wow. Just when Lewis Palmer was moving the football with success on their opening drive, that is one of the toughest routes to throw, is throwing that crossing route or that long out route. You've got to throw that thing with heat on it, and Rosenstrauch did a textbook job in coverage of spying that ball, hawking it, picking it.
Call me foolish, but he's going to be my early candidate for Gridiron Gamer.
He's making a good case early.
Yeah, he really is.
We're getting set for the PAT, the second run of the night for Palmer Ridge early in this football game. Impressive offensively and defensively thus far. Glad you could join us. George Holden with Jeffrey Orman. We are live on Gazette.com. Snap, kick is up, no problem. Through and true. And guess what? With 6:17 remaining in the first quarter, the Palmer Ridge Bears have scored on offense. They've scored on defense. They're up 14-0. Gazette.com.
Football is a rough contact and snow. High Point Roofing to the rescue when your home is damaged. High Point Roofing's pledge to you is simple. Work with you and your insurance company to get the most repairs for your home. Get it right the first time. One call means peace of mind. High Point Roofing, 719-375-8850. 719-375-8850.
Welcome back, everybody, to Don Breeze Stadium here in Monument, Colorado, north of Colorado Springs. Early in this football game, Jeffrey Orman, the Palmer Ridge Bears look impressive on both sides of the football.
There's no doubt about it. They score offensively after 3 plays, and then Rosenstrauch takes it all the way on a 65-yard pass interception. Here's Lewis Palmer on the kickoff.
Yep, here comes the Rangers. They need a good return, breaks 1 tackle, and he gets bared down on by the Palmer Ridge kick coverage team right about the 20-yard line. So Lewis Palmer had a pretty good-looking drive on their first drive of the game. But what's important for Lewis Palmer right now, Jeffrey, we look back to last night with the Denver Broncos at Arrowhead Stadium. They found themselves in a hole 14-0. They didn't panic. They had poise and confidence and found a way to tie the football game. So Lewis Palmer, plenty of time in this game, but they've got to go back to work here on offense. You got to have a short memory when you're a quarterback and you throw an interception for a pick 6. Absolutely. 1st and 10 from the 23. Here comes Timms. The quick hitter, the handoff, as his back is picked 7-yard line. He did not want to go down, so the Palmer Ridge defense decided to...
Could have had a flag if they had deposited him a little less gently. Leading the assault was, well, I'm going to say Bailey Rosenstrauch, but I'm not sure that number is correct. Well, why not? He's done everything else tonight. I mean, it's basically Rosenstrauch 14 and Lewis Palmer nothing at this point.
Pick up a 4 by the Rangers on the quick hitter. 2nd and 6 from the 27. I formation, receiver to each side. Timms, off tackle play to the near side, and he gets lassoed around the neck. That's pretty close to possible horse collar tackle. We'll see if they're off tackle. Lewis Palmer, the Rangers, doing some recon on offense. Yep.
George Sylvanik, 6'3", 225 pounds. You want that guy?
Right around 5 minutes left here in the first quarter. And this is a big third down. Motion this time for the Rangers. Timms. The dive play. Big guy, number 44, Charlie. Looks like he's going to get enough for the first down. Keep the ball away from Palmer Ridge.
One of the things I'm noticing about the Bears, Jordan, it's almost like a 4-5 defensive alignment.
Yep. And they're going to keep it safe with that. Twins to the near side. Off to Pavlik. Oh, he is thumped. That is 180-pound senior strong safety.
Bird also introduced himself into the fray. So, ball will be spotted back at the 34-yard line and second down.
Palmer Ridge Bears. I formation again. 2nd and 9 after a pickup of 1. Tim straight rock. He drops. Oh, he's in trouble. Rolls to the near side. He's got a little bit of a lane to run, but it's going to close quickly. Wisely gets out of bounds. And guess what? We got flags a-flying at the 42-yard line, Jeffrey.
And I'll tell you why he got away from that rush. Credit the man who I believe is the left guard. That is Curran Chapman, 189-pounder. He moved the guy out of the way and enabled his quarterback to get some yardage, but we might have a run, a foul, and let's see how the officials will call this one.
Kevin Timms had that straight drop on that, realized, uh-oh, I'm getting backside heat here. Rolls, keeps his composure, gets a little bit of a lane down the near sideline, and wisely gets out of bounds. It's tough teaching a young QB to slide or get out of bounds.
I don't think they even know the meaning of the word.
Until they're hit.
Yeah.
And once they take a big lick, they usually go, you know what, I don't like that too much. I think I'm going to listen to that. I'm going to get out of bounds or slide. Think baseball.
Yeah. Well,
2nd and 9. But like I said, we are marching it off. It's going to go against Lewis Palmer.
Oh boy, that's huge. All the way back to the 27-yard line. Let's see if they.
It happened out of bounds.
All right.
Could have been unsportsmanlike conduct, possibly. But they moved him back, so it's 3rd and 18 at 3:52 in the first quarter.
And if I'm the Bears, guess what I'm going to do, George? It's called blitz. I'm sending everybody.
Yep. Show your teeth and claws and get after it. Here goes Timms. The option to Pavlik. He bobbles it, breaks 1 tackle, but nothing more. And guess what? We're going to see the first punt of the football game by Lewis Palmer.
And the first man to make the tackle is number 13, Grayson Metalis. And as you mentioned, Lewis Palmer's got a punt. And this is not real good because they are averaging 20 yards per punt. They've had a long of 49 this year, which should tell you something about the rest of them.
Yep. So here we go. 4th and 15 for their own 30. Lewis Palmer will punt. Punter stands at the high snap. It's straight up, just a roller. Bounces at about the 47. And it gets a Ranger bounce. It'll go all the way down to the 31-yard line. Palmer Ridge. So with 3:06 left in the first period of play, after the first Lewis Palmer punt, Palmer Ridge will take back over on offense with a commanding 14-0 lead here at Don Breeze Stadium. We'll take a quick break to hear from our sponsors here on thegazette.com.
Football is a rough contact sport. So is Colorado's damaging hail, pounding rain, and snow. High Point Roofing to the rescue when your home is damaged. High Point Roofing's pledge to you is simple. Work with you and your insurance company to get the most repairs for your home. Get it right the first time. One call means peace of mind. High Point Roofing, 719-375-8850. 719-375-8850.
Welcome back, everybody, to Don Breeze Stadium. Moments ago, quarterback Isaiah Sanders from Palmer Ridge on their first play from scrimmage on this drive fires a bomb down the near sideline, and guess what? Number 25, Sylvanik, makes a big-time catch all the way down to the 25-yard line, and they move in a hurry. Palmer Ridge offset, Twins receivers to both sides. Sanders out of the gun, fakes the handoff, and we got yellow on green. Looks like false start, Jeffrey.
All right, well, that might be a big break for Lewis Palmer. They've just been lit up by a 42-yard pass play. That man, Rosenstrau, again, I think it's the same pattern they ran for the touchdown earlier in the game, George. And now this time it's going to go back to the 31-yard, 1st and 15. It's going to be against the Bears. I think this is their first penalty.
Yep, you got to keep an eye on these receivers. They have gotten, that's twice, Palmer Ridge down the near sideline has gotten wide open deep down the field. Here goes Sanders out of the gun. He's going to hand off the end around. He's got running room. Gets some pretty good blocks. That is number 24, Colin Ambrose. A little bit of end around from the near side through the middle.
Well,
He'll pick up some yardage there.
He will, but he'll also pick up a flag, too. So let's see what this play is all about.
You know, it's always a danger when you get an early lead to start getting sloppy.
Well, you don't want to do that now. There's a lot of football to be played, and let's see where this one is going to go as the officials will have a little tete-a-tete. And it's going to go against the Bears. So all of a sudden, George, after a lightning quick start, a 42-yard pass play, and since then they're shifting into reverse.
Yep. Remind you also with our sponsors, Small Town Appliance Company is here to provide solutions to your appliance needs. Warm fridge, washer full of water. Call them for repairs at 694-4707. Or do you need a quality reconditioned appliance to replace your old appliances? See our showroom at Austin Bluffs and Barnes, just behind Big O Tires. Small Town Appliance Company, 694-4707. First and 20 after the penalty from the 35. Sanders out of the shotgun, trips receivers to the far side, one receiver to the near side. Motion followed up. Great job by the Lewis Palmer defense. They stayed home, and there was a coverage sack. Nowhere to go for Isaac.
Matter of fact, and coming in to make the first tackle is Current Chapman. We've called his name a couple of times tonight. Coach here at Lewis Palmer, and his son, who's going to be graduating, wants to go to the Coast Guard Academy, his dad was telling me, made a big play. He's made a couple of nice plays tonight for the Rangers.
Second and 18 from the 33 of Lewis Palmer. Sanders out of the shotgun, motion. Straight drop, pretty good time. Fires down the middle of the field. He's got an open receiver right through his hands at about the 12-yard line. Number 25, George Sylvanik, the 6'6", 235-pound senior. That ball went right off his fingertips, Jeffrey. That's sometimes when you go over the middle in traffic, you hear footsteps.
Tristan Barkley and Howard Weber were the ones who were providing said footsteps as the quarterback's trying to throw it right between two defenders and incomplete. So now it brings up a second down and about 20 as Lewis Palmer needs to start digging in.
Yep. Another penalty on the field.
Penalty declined.
It'll be declined. And a third down for Palmer Ridge. This is important here, Jeffrey, for the Lewis Palmer Ranger defense to make a stand with 1:46 left here in the first quarter, already down 14-0.
Yeah, they really have got to start burying their teeth, no pun intended, as far as the Bears are concerned. But they got a 43 defense. Let's see how they play it. They're looking pass, I think.
Another whistle. I think it's timeout. Timeout, Palmer Ridge Bears. We'll take a timeout as well. Palmer Ridge leads Lewis Palmer 14-0 with 1:46 left here in the first quarter of play. You're listening to high school football here in Colorado Springs on the Gazette.com.
Hi, this is Tom Ashley, president of A&B Bank in Colorado Springs. As an independent, community-focused bank, we're proud supporters of many youth and high school activities in the Colorado Springs area. In addition to monetary support, we've also designed a youth checking account to help students manage their money. The account is designed for students ages 15 through 22, has great benefits, including a debit card and mobile banking. It couldn't be easier to use. Come in and see us today at one of our 5 Colorado Springs locations. We look forward to being your bank. A&B Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome back, everybody, to Don Breeze Stadium here in North Colorado Springs. George Holden along with Jeffrey Orman. It's a District 38 battle between the 4A Palmer Ridge Bears and the 3A Lewis Palmer Rangers. Lewis Palmer, both teams undefeated, but Lewis Palmer currently ranked number 8 in the state on Colorado Preps in 3A. That ranking's in danger right now. Palmer Ridge seeming to have their way, and a big third and long for Palmer Ridge. Lewis Palmer digging in on defense. Motion from the near side. He's gonna fake the handoff, and Sanders is gonna follow some blocks with some nifty footwork, and he is pulled down at the 35. But guess what? The Palmer Ridge defense, they're gonna hold on third down.
They needed that. And I'll tell you what, that was some good ball handling because I was watching Rosenstrau, and he just got lit up, and I believe it was Charlie Young that came in to make it, and all of a sudden I'm hearing you. He says, well, he's still got the football handling by the quarterback, but it's a fourth down, and now we will see the Bears punt for the first time this evening.
Yep, and it's going to be, I think it's Grayson Toulis, number 13, back and take a timeout as well. 14-0 Palmer Ridge with 1:08 left here in the first quarter of play. You're listening to high school football live on the Gazette.com.
a bone-crunching football injury, or you're a weekend warrior, pain doesn't have to be your constant companion. Austin Bluffs Chiropractic can help. Dr. Scott Cook is a former athlete. He knows pain and how to help you through it. Dr. Cook's promise to you is simple. If he can't get you results, he'll find another specialist who can. Austin Bluffs Chiropractic, 548-8611. It's time to call and take care of your pain. Dr. Scott Cook and Austin Bluffs Chiropractic can make it happen.
Welcome back, everybody. Don Breeze Stadium. I'm George Holden along with Jeffrey Orman, having fun with high school football on a brisk night here in mid-September. Got a lot of football left the rest of the season. Had some good games thus far. Saw a good Vista Ridge team last week.
Sure did. Guess what we're having? I think they're going to go for it.
Another timeout by Lewis Palmer. And guess what? We'll take a timeout as well, but recognize one of our sponsors here. A&B Bank cares about our local community. One way A&B shows it is through their youth checking account. It's designed for students to help them manage their money. Open an account today to receive a free pair of copper sunglasses while supplies last. A&B looks forward to being your bank. A&B Bank, member FDIC. And also, Austin Bluffs Chiropractic. You're in pain? Well, Austin Bluffs Chiropractic can help. Dr. Scott Cook is a former athlete. He knows pain and how to help you through it. Patient care is his #1 priority. Austin Bluffs Chiropractic, 548-8611. Time to call and take care of your pain. Back to action here. 4th down and 20. And guess what? Isaiah Sanders and his offense, they're going for it for Palmer Ridge out of the gun at the 40. Straight drop. He's going to run the screen over the middle. It's caught. And he cuts back inside. A little bit of running room. He is right at the sticks.
It's going over to Lewis Palmer. They made the defensive play, and it is going over on downs, and that is why, George, they called the timeout. They saw that the quarterback was coming back for the Bears, and they said, wait a minute, we don't have the right people on the field. We got to get a TO, and that's exactly what they did. Lewis Palmer takes it over on downs as the ball will be spotted about the 23.
Wow, and that could be pivotal, crucial for this Lewis Palmer football team for overall team morale with that stop. They got another chance on offense. 1 minute left here in the first quarter, exactly, starting from their own 24. Tibbs, he's going to hand off, and his back is swallowed by the Bear defense. It'll be 2nd down as time starts to run out here in the first quarter of play. But Jeffrey, this might be a point where we come back late in the 4th quarter. If Lewis Palmer can get something going, that stop on defense.
Absolutely, and I mean right now, apparently Palmer Ridge basically said, look, we're gonna attack you on defense. We don't think you can stop us. That time, Lewis Palmer did.
Kevin Tibbs, the junior quarterback, I formation, twins receivers to the near side. Straight drop, fires a laser beam. The screen to the near side, gets a good block from his fellow receiver, and the catch is made by Alex Bailey, 5'10", 130-pound junior. Not a big kid, but makes the screen catch, gets a good block by the slot receiver, and the clock will run down. I think that's going to be it for the first quarter, Jeffrey. I don't know if they're going to get this playoff unless they're really lucky.
No, that's it.
And that's going to do it. We are one and done. 1 quarter down here at Don Breeze Stadium in North Colorado Springs. The score, the Palmer Ridge Bears 14, the Lewis Palmer Rangers nothing. We're going to get set for 2nd quarter play. We'll take a quick break here. You're listening and watching high school football on Gazette.com.
Football is a rough contact sport. So is Colorado's damaging hail, pounding rain, and snow. High Point Roofing to the rescue when your home is damaged. High Point Roofing's pledge to you is simple. Work with you and your insurance company to get the most repairs for your home. Get it right the first time. One call means peace of mind. High Point Roofing, 719-375-8850. 719-375-8850.
Welcome back, everybody. Don Breeze Stadium. I'm George Holden along with Jeffrey Orman getting set for 2nd quarter play with the Palmer Ridge Bears on defense with a lead 14-0. Lewis Palmer with a big-time 3rd and 4 from their own 30. Their opening drive was a good-looking drive until the pick 6 by Palmer Ridge killed it. And now, out of the standard I formation again, it's a 3rd and manageable here, Jeffrey. Timms under center. I formation, the handoff, and he is thumped. That's Pavlik by a host of Bear tacklers. I don't think he's going to get it.
Well, he's going to come close to it, but now you have an interesting call here because leading the assault, by the way, Chase Dukes, we've called his name a couple of times tonight. I think they're going to send on the punting unit. Ball is just over the 30 to the 31, and all right, so it is going to be a punting situation as the Bears will send a man back.
Punt returner for Palmer Ridge as standing at his own 45-yard line. And the Lewis Palmer punter stands at his 20. They haven't had a lot of... Oh, that's a hopper. He loses control of it. He's going to get out of there. Tries to kick it. It is blocked. It's a live ball. And guess what? A special teams touchdown by the Palmer Ridge Bears on the muffed punt. Blocked muffed punt. And just like that, the Lewis Palmer Rangers are down by 3 touchdowns, Jeffrey Orban.
Well, they've done it every way that you can imagine. Palmer Ridge has scored offensively, defensively. Now the special teams puts them in a hole, puts Lewis Palmer in a hole, 20-0.
We said, you mentioned it earlier, that Lewis Palmer's had problems punting the football, averaging 20 yards a punt. That bad snap put the punter in a bind. He wasn't able to get control of it and thought about kicking it at the last minute, but too little too late. And Palmer Ridge was waiting for it. They smelled trouble. They pounced on it. The result, another Palmer Ridge touchdown. PAT's up, through, true, no problem. And guess what, folks? Palmer Ridge, Class 4A, they're undefeated. They're a good football team. They're up 21-0 over the Lewis Palmer Rangers with 11:08 just starting here in the second quarter of play. We will take another break. You're listening and watching high school football in Colorado Springs live on thegazette.com.
A bone-crunching football injury, or you're a weekend warrior. Pain doesn't have to be your constant companion. Austin Bluffs Chiropractic can help. Dr. Scott Cook is a former athlete. He knows pain and how to help you through it. Dr. Cook's promise to you is simple. If he can't get you results, he'll find another specialist who can. Austin Bluffs Chiropractic, 548-8611. It's time to call and take care of your pain. Dr. Scott Cook and Austin Bluffs Chiropractic can make it happen.
Welcome back, everybody, to Don Breeze Stadium. Glad you could join us for high school football in Colorado Springs live here on Gazette.com. As Palmer Ridge scores another touchdown, getting set, they're kicking off to the south end zone, all the way back into his end zone, goes through his hands, drops it. Lewis Palmer won't get a return out of this. They'll start at set up shop offensively at their own 20-yard line.
Fans, you can follow us on Twitter at Gazette Preps for more high school sports coverage in the Colorado Springs area. Coach for the Rangers in his second year, that is Coach Tupper, and he finds himself in a bit of a predicament now, down by 21 points. Last year, Lewis Palmer went 5-5, and here they find themselves trying to dig out of a big hole, 1st and 10 from their own 20.
Here we go. 11:08 just starting the second quarter, and Lewis Palmer tries to go with that quick hitter, that dive play again. And sometimes you can go to the well once too often. It starts drying up. So Lewis Palmer, their running back, Pavlik, he has averaged 10.5 yards per carry in the first 2 games. Pretty much a first down every time he touches the football. And he's been held in check here tonight thus far.
Palmer Ridge, on the other hand, George, they're going to dare him to throw. They've got a 3-touchdown lead. They said, hey, we're gonna throw on us.
Here comes Tills under center. Pump fake, far side, and overshoots there. So it'll be a 3rd and 8 from the Palmer. High Point Roofing is your lifeline after the start right the first time. High Point Roofing, 719-375-8850. One call means peace of mind for you and your family.
There's no flag on the play, but the officials are oh, I beg your pardon. Was there a flag on the play? I think it's inadvertent, so
yep.
We will play on. Well, here you go. You play to the Rangers' weakness right now, and if you're the Bears, do you come with a blitz? Do you just play defense and maybe try to get a turnover? I think they're going to play a straight pass D.
Yep. Timms, the delayed draw. He's going to try to throw the screen into the flat, and that took a while to develop. Hits his fullback, and he is clobbered, but the catch is made by fullback Charlie Young, the junior, on the near sideline. It looked like a good-looking play, Jeffrey, but there was a pause mode. Took too long to get going and gave the Palmer Ridge secondary time to close.
Thing is going the Bears' way, is going back to his thing for Palmer Ridge tonight, and that is Bailey Rosenstrau. He is the deep man. We've seen touchdowns scored Every way but loose right now.
We had a muffed punt for a touchdown last. 7 bobbles it, but he gains control. He's got a little bit of a lane. I think he could go to the 30, to the 20. He will. Touchdown, Palmer Ridge. Number 23, Bailey Rosenstrauch. This guy is lethal in open field, and he gets another touchdown on his resume here tonight at Don Breeze Stadium.
He's done it offensively. He's done it defensively. He's done it on special teams. I think we can almost hand our gridiron gamer. I think we can get one of them anyway.
Wow, Bailey Rosenstrauch for Palmer Ridge on the punt return, pretty much untouched to the far side, and it's 27-0. Wow. And the official is coming over to the Lewis Palmer sideline. Looks like Lewis Palmer's coach wants to chat with his players there at the 35. Tough go thus far for Lewis Palmer. They are a 3A team playing up against a 4A team. Both teams see this as their home stadium. Lewis Palmer's been here for years. Palmer Ridge, the newer of the schools. And boy, tell you what, so far tonight, Palmer Ridge, they're impressive.
I'm not seeing a thing that they're doing wrong, especially with Rosenstrauch. I wonder if he drives the bus. I mean, my gosh, this kid has done it all.
But I'm looking here, I'm wondering if that punt return's coming back.
I didn't see a flag.
I didn't either, and I'm wondering.
Okay, well, they've taken the score off the board,
Yep.
George, so you are correct.
Now here's the thing too. This could be another moment where Lewis Palmer dodges a bullet, because that is a momentum killer, a big time special teams TD. That could be a momentum killer for a football team, and Palmer Ridge is going to get backed up. We didn't see a penalty flag up here in the press box. Not sure what it was, but Palmer Ridge is being backed way up.
Yeah.
And so this is new life for Lewis Palmer.
Well, the punt was taken at about the 47. Now, that's all the way back to what, the 28. So, disregard the touchdown. Mr. Rosenstrauch, we've been talking a lot about you, my friend, but it looks like following the kick return, there is a penalty, so the Bears will have the football 1st and 10 from about the 27-yard line.
Sanders with the fake, fires over to the near side flat, gets his receiver, breaks one tackle, does a good job to elude and pick up the first down. Trevor Grob, number 15, senior, 5'11", 165-pounder. Tell you what I like, too, about this Isaiah Sanders kid, the quarterback for Palmer Ridge. He spreads the wealth with his wide receivers.
He does indeed, and let's see, they get the first down out of that? Yes, they did, so here come the Bears on the attack.
Under 9.5 minutes left in the first half. After the punt return touchdown called back, Palmer Ridge gets a first down. Sanders, straight drop. He gets blitzed, and he avoids the blitzer and avoids a couple more tackles. Isaiah Sanders with nifty, nimble footwork all the way out to the 45. That should have been a sack, but he eludes it and turns it into a gain.
Well, Jared Pope was just exploding off the football, and he forced the run. And I think the final man put him down. Well, anyway, it was it's been a big play for the D. But we've talked about escaping out of every jam that they're putting him in. This kid's an escape artist right now.
Twins receivers to the near side, one to the far side, motion. And Sanders, he's going to step up inside, and he's going to get a little bit of running room. We got a flag, and Sanders is going to push himself all the way into Lewis Palmer territory, but hold the phone. At the 46, there's yellow on green, and Eric Singer's in the booth with us, and he says hold. We'll see if
coaches say it's procedure, so we'll see what we have here.
Prophetic. They've had the punt return called back for a touchdown. I think Eric's right. Now they're going to back him up. Lewis Palmer's got to take advantage of these miscues by Palmer Ridge.
Unfortunately, the official has his back to us, so depending on where they spot the football, and I believe Eric is correct. It appears to have been a hole. Back to the 35. So the Bears hurting themselves a little bit. Now can Lewis Palmer on the second down, and I think it's 18. Can Lewis Palmer make him pay for the mistake?
Yep, from their own 35 after the penalty. Sanders, play fake, good time, but he is going to get sacked! The first one of the night, and a big one by the Lewis Palmer Rangers, number 68, Adley Piccolo. 5'8", 195-pound senior for Lewis Palmer came in untouched, and knowing that Sanders is an elusive quarterback with a great fundamental tackle.
Well, I'll tell you what, Piccolo certainly played a tune on him on that one, because it now brings up a 3rd down and 27. How big was that for the Lewis Palmer defense? Was shoved around tonight. Now they're making a statement. Here comes another blitz, and we might have had contact at the line.
Yellow on green. Again, this drive, ever since that punt return called back, has been going backwards for Palmer Ridge, which is good news for Lewis Palmer, but they have to find a way to capitalize and generate points off that.
That'll be now a 3rd down and 13, as Jared Pope, I think, got a little bit over anxious, but apparently Lewis Palmer has seen something in that O-line from the Bears, and it looks like they're coming through that A gap.
Yep.
And that's where they seem to be attacking defensively.
Sanders on 3rd and long. And for 22 to go. Straight drop, pressure, steps up inside, eludes, comes back inside. He's got some good footwork. He's still on his feet, weaving through tacklers. Are you kidding me? He is going to pick up a 1st and 22.
Not much you can say about that. Just some tremendous footwork. Keeping his wits about him, Isaiah Sanders just works the magic. Charlie Young finally coming up to make the tackle, but I'm telling you, this kid is sensational for the Palmer Ridge Bears. My goodness gracious, you better put him in a can or he's going to get out and just have some fun.
46-yard line after the 1st down. The handoff through the middle. He'll pick up a few. It'll be 2nd down for the Palmer Ridge Bears. A&B Bank cares about our local community. One way A&B shows it is through their youth checking account. It's designed for students to help them manage their money. Open an account today to receive a free pair of copper sunglasses while supplies last. A&B Bank looks forward to being your bank. A&B Bank, member FDIC. 2nd and 6 from the 42 for Palmer Ridge. Play fake Sanders. Again, he's going to try to run, and he is going to get lassoed. Lewis Palmer, the Ranger defense, says, you got away once on a 3rd and 22. You are not getting away again.
And I'm going to tell you something. He would have had to drag Charlie Young halfway down the field. Sometimes you want to give that second effort that you hear so much about. In this particular on this particular play, George, you just sit down. You don't want to risk injury because they had him by the ankle, and there could have been some serious damage there if he'd been trying to fight it up. But that's Isaiah Sanders. What a quarterback.
Big quarterback, too. 6'2", 195, pushing 200 pounds. Good athlete. And we've got motion. Sanders, straight back. He's going to get rushed. Fires in the flat. Got his receiver. And he is going to pull himself all the way down to about the 32-yard line on the far sideline. Sanders, what a poised, controlled quarterback. He gets bull rushed from the outside, gently steps up inside, keeps his eyes and head focused downfield, and finds his target.
Well, you can't fault Lewis Palmer's defense because they are really putting in the heat, but they're going up against a guy that's just got some tremendous mobility, and he hits his good friend Rosenstrau for another 1st down.
Yep. And I think at this point, Isaiah Sanders, you're not talking about really stopping him. You're talking about first containing him before you can stop him. 1st and 10. Sanders, play action, fires a screen to the near side to his receiver, breaks one tackle, gets a good block, another flag. On this drive, we've seen several flags on this drive. That's number 23 on the reception, Bailey Rosenstrauch. We've said that name a lot tonight. He likes that target, and for good reason. He knows how to pick up yards after the catch. Pluck, tuck, and go. This kid shows it.
They can negate that play. It's another holding penalty, so the Bears kind of hurting themselves a little bit.
Yep.
And now Lewis Palmer's got to make them pay. Now, they've made some good plays on defense, have the Rangers. And I like the fact that they're being very aggressive on the D, but they need to have some things go their way right now as they are down 21-0, and they got a huge break when the punt return by Rosenstrau was called back. All right, so you look at a 1st down and about 22. Let's see what they dial up this time.
Out of the gun, Sanders from his own 46. Twins receivers to the near side, one to the far side. He's going to hand off, coming to the near side, trying to pick his way through blockers, still on his feet, and the defense pounced on him. He wouldn't go down. We can hear the cut
of flag. The
Yep.
first was Tristan Bark at the 46-yard line of Lewis Palmer. Let's see what this is. That's your cue, Mr. Referee. You tell us what happened. Lewis Palmer, and another flag has been thrown. Oh boy!
Wow.
This might be on the sideline, folks.
Yeah. And that, the wheels coming off. You'll get assistant coaches, players get upset. They get angry about calls, things like that. You have to, when it rains, it pours. So you got to be composed and have self-discipline on those sides.
Now, ball's at the 27-yard line, and I think that might be for penalty number 1. Inadvertent flag, we're being
waving it
told.
off.
All right, so
Might want to get some Velcro on the flags. We're going to change it up here as soon as we find out with the officials, they get it situated down there. Also, I want to remind you that High Point Roofing is your lifeline after the storm. High Point Roofing's pledge to you, it's simple. Great repairs right the first time. 50, one call means peace of mind for you and your family.
good movement to the officials, made it, actually spotted the ball. It's now a 2nd down and 3.
Here we go. Sanders, he's getting rushed. And he's still on his feet. But yeah, it is going to go down as a sack at the 35-yard line. Great job by the linebacker for the Lewis Palmer Rangers, getting in there, sticking with it, and getting the sack.
Cody Fitzgerald put the heat on, was able to not wrap him up, but he was able to contain him. And by the way, Cody is also the kicker for this team, so give one to the kicker on that one. Moves it back about 2 yards. Well, about a 9-yard loss, actually, and it's about a 2nd and 12. Boy, they needed that.
Yep. 3rd and 11 for Isaiah Sanders and his club. He's going to do the handoff through the middle. Spin move. Good run. But he is wrapped up and met. That's not going to be enough for the first down. Clock running, 4:18 and counting in the first half of play. George Holden, high school football in Colorado Springs, right here live on Gazette.com. Also, you can follow us in the Colorado Springs area.
3rd down and about 8-7 maybe for the Bears right now. Big play for both sides.
Sanders, good protection. Receiver in the end zone. And guess what? Touchdown. Trevor Grab, the senior, 5'11" and 165-pounder. Great job by the Palmer Ridge offensive line, giving Sanders time, and finds Grob in the back of the end zone.
And for 2nd touchdown of the year, he also comes into tonight's game as the 11th leading pass receiver in the state of Colorado in the Class 4A. This time the touchdown will count, and it's 27-0.
Wow. Palmer Ridge has been very active on offense. This was a kind of a sloppy drive by Palmer Ridge, but they find a way to overcome it with big plays.
They really did.
And the PAT is, it's no good. No, it is good. I apologize. It is good. Palmer Ridge, they lead 28-0 over the Lewis Palmer Rangers here at Don Breeze Stadium. We have 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first half of play. You're listening to High School Football live on Gazette.com. We'll take a quick break to recognize our sponsors.
Football is a rough contact sport. So is Colorado's damaging hail, pounding rain, and snow. High Point Roofing to the rescue when your home is damaged. High Point Roofing's pledge to you is simple. Work with you and your insurance company to get the most repairs for your home. Get it right the first time. One call means peace of mind. High Point Roofing, 719-375-8850. 719-375-8850.
Welcome back, everybody, to Don Breeze Stadium. Glad you could join us for some high school football. A little bit of chill here in the booth as Palmer Ridge, with a commanding lead 28-0, kicks the football up to Lewis Palmer. It'll be caught at the 12. Here come the Rangers with some blocking. Goes right up to the middle of the wedge. Gets all the way out to the 31-yard line. And Jeffrey, that's where the Lewis Palmer Rangers will start shop, buried in a hole right now.
11 plays, 77 yards on the last drive. Sanders with his 2nd touchdown pass of the night, and the Bears are just doing everything right. Right now, Lewis Palmer gets some kind of a rhythm. 3 minutes and 42 seconds. I'd say get some rhythm.
And after tonight's performance, the top 10. 3:42 remaining here in the first half of play. Tibbs, the quarterback, fires in the flat. He's got his receiver to the ground. And another penalty flag.
Yeah, no tackle for the Bears.
And the catch in the flat. A lot of penalties last few minutes.
Chiefs-Broncos first half.
We're happy as well. I mean,
was.
the Denver defense, when's the last time you saw them get five turnovers on the road?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're a Kansas City fan, you're thinking the Chiefs lost it as much as Denver won it. 2 turnovers in the red zone and a couple of balls that should have been picked off. But I'm going to tell you what. Say all you want about Peyton Manning. 80-yard drive for the tie score. I think we've said enough.
Yep.
He's still got it.
Palmer Ridge. Lewis Palmer yet to get in the end zone. Tibbs, the play action. He's going to roll to the far side. He is knocked down Nice looking play, though, but that's fullback Charlie Young. The clock continues to run, but nice play call by the Lewis Palmer Ranger offense.
And what they need to do is they need to start throwing under the coverage. If the
Yes.
Bears are going to drop back, throw under it. That's going to move the chains, and that's what Lewis Palmer needs to do right now, and they executed that play very well.
They need to get points on the board. Closing into halftime, Tim's I formation, straight drop, fires to the near sideline. He's got a receiver there, and it's caught! He hauls it in at the 18-yard line. Beautifully thrown ball. Great catch. Senior Dylan Ellis. Nice pitch and catch routine by the Lewis Palmer Rangers.
Colin Ambrose defending on the play and also making the tackle. But for the first time tonight, I think Lewis Palmer is in the red zone. Or maybe they were in it before and they turned it over. I'm not sure which. But anyway, they're in the red zone. Now, as you say, George Holden, they got to put something up.
Lewis Palmer, the quick dive through the middle. It's the fullback banging away to the end zone. And guess what? Big 44 junior Charlie Young with great blocks by his offensive line. The first touchdown of the night for the Lewis Palmer Rangers.
And it couldn't have come at a better time. You're down in the hole 28-0. You're thinking the Dombers are down, and Lewis Palmer said, no, sir, we're coming right back at you. And I just a straight blast up the gut and scores 6 for Lewis Palmer. Charlie Young going in for the touch.
Charlie his way through the middle. Great job by the offensive line of Lewis Palmer, allowing him to get into the end zone. The kick is up. It's through. And it's true. And guess what? The Lewis Palmer Rangers, they aren't done. They get on the board in a hurry. The Palmer Ridge Bears lead 28-7 with 2:36 left here in the first half of play at Don Breeze Stadium. We'll take a quick break here on the Gazette.com.
Small Town Appliance Company is here to provide solutions to your appliance needs. Warm fridge, washer full of water. Call 694-4707. Or, do you need a quality reconditioned appliance to replace your old appliances? Call 694-4707. How about a kitchen update? Come see our new Whirlpool appliance showroom at Austin Bluffs and Barnes, just behind Big O Tires. Or Whirlpool Appliance Center for your new appliance needs. Built in America, by Americans, to be sold to Americans.
Welcome back, everybody, to Don Breeze Stadium. Glad you could join us for high school football here in Colorado Springs. A crisp night here. Beautiful night here. Palmer Ridge was looking to pull the route till Lewis Palmer on a quick drive scores. Gets on the board. Lewis Palmer kicks off. This one will sail all the way into the end zone, and it's going to be touchback. It's coming back. But, Jeffrey, you talk about putting some life in you. And you still got a heartbeat. Lewis Palmer needed to answer. They needed a score. They needed something positive, and they found it.
Exactly right. And for Young, that's his second touchdown of the year, going from 19 yards out. And then it only took him 4 plays to get on the board. Now, let's see if the offense lights up the defense. I think Lewis Palmer could come out in this series and get real nasty.
Let's see if the Lewis Palmer Ranger defense goes a-hunting for Bears here for Palmer Ridge. 1st and 10 for the 20. 2:36 left here in the first half of play. Palmer Ridge, 4A, and Lewis Palmer in 3A football. Both teams undefeated 2-0. Isaiah Sanders gets the snap out of shotgun. He breaks one tackle. He's trying to bounce outside. This guy is slippery. He broke about 3 or 4 tackles. Found a way to get away. He's a phenomenal athlete. Great pocket presence and awareness, and turns a loss into a gain.
It's a modest one, George, but it's a gain nevertheless. It's now 2nd and 9. It could have been a loss because Palmer absolutely
10, near side. Sanders straight back. That! The Ranger defense. That's a great coverage in the secondary. Sanders had no throw a pick, and Lewis Palmer's defense is coming alive. A timeout up 28-7. You're listening to Walk here on Gazette.com.
So is Colorado's damaging hail. Pound rescue when your home is simple. Most repair call means peace of 7-5.
35 Lever Ridge Bears. Breaks one tackle. Field is going to go the distance dive. Bonnet. 6'6", 230. Scores. Gets the quick. It was a track meet down the far sideline. Lever Ridge touchdown.
3rd touchdown pass of the night. And yeah, I know it's early, folks, but that really was a sock to the gut of Lewis Palmer. That was a very big hit to the stomach.
And I hope this is right. They have number 25, George Silvanich. Are you ready for this? 6'6", 235. That's pretty good speed for a guy that big.
Somebody might look at him.
You'd think we're lightning a quick timeout on the Gazette.com.
Hi, this is Tom Ashley, president of A&B Bank, and proud supporters of many youth and high school activities in the Colorado Springs area. In addition, manage their money. The account is designed for students ages 15 through 22, has great benefits, including a debit card and mobile banking. It couldn't be easier to use. Come in and see us today at one of our 5 Colorado Springs locations. We look forward to being your bank. A&B Bank, member FDIC.
Well, football week 3, both teams undefeated. Then goes up to the 30-yard. Lewis Palmer again.
The clock and get past 85 yards strong.
Tim's in the flat. I think he says no. He's bobbled it. Not a completion. Madison, the junior. Lewis Palmer. They can find a way to peak before half and at least room at halftime so they can do it, folks. Third down here in the first half. Is your lifeline after the storm. High Point Roofing's pledge to you is simple. Get repairs right the first time. At 8850, one
Dukes on the last tap.
Bro, fired out there, Reminds me of a little bit of, and I'm the days of the workout.
Yards on one play just by running.
He's still
Beach, no much.
Lewis Palmer, 7-yard line, the end zone, and 3-yard touchdown pass. Part of the problems, this ball, a little bit of a wobbler, good hang. We'll take a part. 27.1 seconds late. Palmer Ridge right back with high school football live.
Sport. So rain and snow. High Point damaged. You and get it. High Point 719.
It's Bailey Rosen. Well, you talk about game, but aerial
about it, but versus the ground game and
winning out
big time. And Isaiah Sanders, Palmer Ridge wants to do. They want to score the 41st. I don't think anyway. Well, not. They have to be up by 40. I think they're just. Boy, I'll tell you.
He knows how to score 20 points. Back to the Palmer. That was Howard right
through that third.
They're managing the gun. Guess what? It's her touch slip on the far beam. And Don Breeze, Jeffrey.
Well, so far, the story of the game has been the play of Isaiah.
Wow. You know, this last week was an aerial assault passing attacks in Colorado Springs. PAT, no problem. 41-7, Palm Stadium over the Rangers. Here with 12 recognize our sponsors in Colorado Springs.
To your appliance need. 447 called 694 behind Big O Tires. By Americans to be sold to Americans.
Very slow, but Palmer Ridge will kick for Palmer Ridge. And Lewis Palmer gets it'll be 8 points right now.
And I mean, you talk about a 53-yard down catches on the team tonight.
Yep, half. Straight. He's going to fall. That is going to do it. Don Breeze. It's 40 along with Jeffrey from Eric Singer here. Quick break here at halftime to recognize our sponsors. You're listening and watching high school football in Colorado Springs live on Gazette.com.
Football is a rough contact sport. So is Colorado's damaging hail, pounding rain, and snow. High Point Roofing to the rescue when your home is damaged. High Point Roofing's pledge to you is simple. Work with you and your insurance company to get the most repairs for your home. Get it right.
The Ranger defense, that's a great coverage in the secondary. Sanders had no throw a pick. And Lewis Palmer's defense is coming alive. A timeout up 28-7. You're listening and watching here on Gazette.com.
So is Colorado's damaging hail, pound rescue when your home is simple. Most repair call means peace of 7-5.
35 left where Ridge Bears breaks one tackle. Field is going to go the distance dive. Bonnet, 6'6", 230, scores. Gets the quick, it was a track meet. Down the far sideline, Palmer Ridge touchdown.
Third touchdown pass of the night. And, yeah, I know it's early, folks, but that really was a sock to the gut of Lewis Palmer. That was a very big hit to the stomach.
And I hope this is right. They have number 25, George Silvanich. Are you ready for this? 6'6", 235. That's pretty good speed for a guy that big.
Somebody might look at him.
You'd think we're lightning a quick timeout on the Gazette.com.
Hi, this is Tom Ashley, president of A&B Bank, and proud supporters of many youth and high school activities in the Colorado Springs area. In addition, manage their money. The account is designed for students ages 15 through 22, has great benefits, including a debit card and mobile banking. It couldn't be easier to use. Come in and see us today at one of our 5 Colorado Springs locations. We look forward to being your bank. A&B Bank, member FDIC.
Well, football week 3, both teams undefeated. Then goes up at the 30-yard. Lewis Palmer again.
The clock and get past 85 yards strong.
Tim's at the flat. I think he says no. He's bobbled it. Not a completion. Madison, the junior. Lewis Palmer. They can find a way to peak before half and at least room at halftime so they can do it, folks. Third down here in the first half. Is your lifeline after the storm. High Point Roofing's pledge to you is simple. Get repairs right the first time. At 8850,
Dukes on the last 10.
Bro, fired out there, Jim. Reminds me of a little bit of and I'm the days of the workout
Yards on one play just by running past. He's still Beach, no much.
Lewis Palmer, 7-yard line. The end zone and 3-yard touchdown pass. Part of the problems, this ball up. A little bit of a wobbler. Good hang. We'll take a Palmer. 27.1 seconds late. Palmer Ridge right back with high school football live.
Sport. So, rain and snow. High Point damaged. You and get it. High Point 719.
It's Bailey Rosen. Well, you talk about game, but aerial
about it, but versus the ground game and
winning out
big time. And Isaiah Sanders, Palmer Ridge wants to do. They want to score the 41st. I don't think anyway. Well, not. They have to be up by 40. I think they're just. Boy, I'll tell you.
He knows how to spot 20 players back to the Palmer. That was Howard right
through that third.
They're managing the gun. Guess what? It's her touch slip on the far laser beam. And Don Breeze, Jeffrey.
Well, so far, the story of the game has been the play of Isaiah.
Wow. You know, this last week was an aerial assault passing attacks in Colorado Springs. PAT, no problem. 41-7, Palm Stadium over the Rangers. Here with 12 points. Recognize our sponsors.com in Colorado Springs.
To your appliance need. 447 called 694 behind Big O Tires. By Americans to be sold to Americans.
Very slow, but Palmer Ridge will kick for Palmer Ridge. And Lewis Palmer gets it'll be 8 points right now.
And I mean, you talk about a 53-yard down catches on the team tonight.
Yep, half. Straight. He's going to fall. That is going to do it. Don Breeze. It's 40 along with Jeff Bell from Eric Singer here. Quick break here at halftime to recognize our sponsors. You're listening and watching high school football in Colorado Springs live on Gazette.com.
Football is a rough contact sport. So is Colorado's damaging hail, pounding rain, and snow. High Point Roofing to the rescue when your home is damaged. High Point Roofing's pledge to you is simple. Work with you and your insurance company to get the most repairs for your home. Get it right the first time. One call means peace of mind. High Point Roofing, 719-375-8850. 719-375-8850.
School football season in Colorado Springs. I'm George Holden along with Jeffrey Orman. And coming into the booth now, as always, a pleasure to have Eric Singer. He's going to talk to us hopefully about some scores in the area for high school football, Eric.
Absolutely. Gazette Press giving us some new score. Now this is a little bit of an older score, but late second when fourth 32, Sierra 0. Wow. Prosa 7 could be in halftime at another halftime. Halftime, Coronado 7, TCA third. This might Pueblo West.
Thank you, Eric. Teams we want to look at possible things around that. Halftime, Bears, Jeffrey, seed from Palmer. What's not to like?
In 2 words, they have just rolled. Now, does this make the blitz the Bears?
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I'd like to give a nickname how he's looked throughout this athlete side of the football with Lewis Palmer. Rick Butter was their running back number for 10.5 100-yard games in the first 2 or be a factor in this football game yet tonight.
Down on the field, that's exactly, and they have done has shaped up for the Palmer at the half.
Palmer in class in the state, that pretty much Palmer Ridge Bears in class 4A. And then the writer at the Gazette, Scotty K, coming in. He's been joining us every week.
But
Scott,
he's not the short, okay?
He writes big. He writes very big.
Ryan out loud. I mean, what is it?
We're talking. You're always here writing. Observe. What are your
Lewis Palmer making a lot of third down, and it turned in. It's another score.
Yeah, and late in the first half, they come up with a little life, some blown. And the yard TD on the far side into their sails.
After that score from it to 3 score, they thought maybe we'd get a stop and get the ball back, and instead Sanders throws it out to the flat. It's 35-7.
Sanders, we've seen what he's done. His quarterback rating 119. Impressive. Nice down the road. Vista Ridge shootout late.
Fourth, really like this. He's shown 2 and 3. Lewis goes down, or he ends up making a big play out of it. So that'd be a lot of fun to see him defense and see how many points those two teams can come up.
Obviously with Palmer Ridge, Lewis Palmer's time before you.
You say, look, we can obviously move the ball, we stop them. We got to get some stops. We can't all of a sudden the kids get some momentum, but you do have to get those stops. And
Scotty K for the rest of the football. Love to hear,
guys.
Awesome, Scotty K for the rights big. George Holden along with Jeffrey Orman on running the tech stuff for us, making sure they are taking care of stats. Quiet guy in the background, making sure that Jeffrey Orman does what he needs to do. 20. Some of the. I don't know how many Colorado Springs teams, but that should be a now in 4A this week to number 5. Still holding strong.
More score 18, Pondu, Sierra 8, and by the way, that
Mitchell has been struggling here, Jeffrey, and they're 3-0. Change. It's either going to be. It's yay.
Yeah, absolutely. Young men are buying it. They went. The last time was the head coach.
Oh, wow.
Okay, not even going to see before computers. Since obviously he's got the right stuff going for him.
And possible state championship aspect 4A football with the top 10. Let's go on this week by Colorado Preps in the. They are currently a little bit through this team.
Pretty sure it had the main very much a lot on the other side of the ball, so a fullback. And I learned a little bit family of football. It's the DeRosas in Division 2, but the word I'm.
Yep, abs 2A. 3-0 on the season. Oh, that's a Jeffrey Orman.
third quarter, the Classical Harmony with the Gazette Preps keep you up to speed as well.
Thank you so much, Eric, which is hard to believe, Jeffrey. Him for that. 4:46 remaining in the first half of play. He's with our sponsors at Small Town Appliance Companies here to provide solutions to your full of water. Call, or do you need to see our show? Small Town Appliance Company. The high school football live here in Colorado Springs on Gazette. That's on Twitter at Gazette Preps for more high school sports coverage right here in the Colorado Springs half. Pretty more or less in the first half, you got. It seems like when you're turning into a rivalry because see this as their home field.
Well, they do, and as I mentioned before, I think Lewis Paul, the Rangers, short. I love the way they attack on defense. Yes. I really like the way they come after you on defense. It's not read and react. It's I'm going to bust you right in the mouth. We talked about it before. Where they're getting their penetration seems to be between miserable for Isaiah. Well, you'd like to think they're making life miserable for Isaiah Sanders. He's feeling the heat. It's not like he can stand back there and wind his watch. He's had to work for those scores, but he's got 4 of them up on the board. Lewis Palmer at the second half.
All right, 40 minutes. We play 2 halves of football out of it. We're going to see with 2:50 up 41-7. We'll be right back with more high school football on Gazette.com.
Football is a rough contact sport. So is Colorado's damaging hail, pounding rain, and snow. High Point Roofing to the rescue when your home is damaged. High Point Roofing's pledge to you is simple. Work with you and your insurance company to get the most repairs for your home. Get it right the first time. One call means peace of mind. High Point Roofing, 719-375-8850. 719-375-8850.
Welcome back, everybody, to Don Breeze Stadium. Getting set for second half action here in North Colorado Springs, actually in Monument. Beautiful night, a little bit of crisp chill in the air. It won't be long before Jeffrey Orman will be breaking out his big coat, and we will know here that it is officially winter. I'm George Holden. Hope you're having as much fun as we are, along with Eric Singer with updates, and he's running everything, making sure that we do what we need to do because we need his presence here in this booth, Jeffrey. Do we not?
Yeah, well, actually, he keeps us all under control. I mean, what can we say? I mean, he breaks up the fist fights that we always have in the parking lot. And,
he has a nice way of doing it. It's very calm.
Yeah, well, I think the bat across the back is a lovely touch. And but anyway, we have a marvelous crew. Everybody, a lot of people you don't see behind the scenes, and we've just had a marvelous crew, and we're not even halfway home yet. And
nope.
So we got a lot of football to play. We got a great crew doing it. I'm having a blast up here. This has just been so much fun to come up here and watch a lot of high school football. I've always been a fan of it anyway, but it is a lot of fun to watch this. And let's get this second half started and see what Lewis Palmer can do to get back in the fight.
Yep, we got AJ running the tech stuff. He's got his headphones on, playing on his phone. He's got the laptop, the camera. He's a multitasker over here. It's something that we can't do. I could never do that. And we got TR back behind me. He is taking care of stats, ads, all that kind of stuff, keeping us on point. Everybody will have a nickname in this box before the end of the season. Eric's tonight, if I have my way, was Eric Thorough Singer. He is very thorough from A to Z.
King Eric. King Eric would be
King
good
Eric.
I like that.
Now, if it's King Eric, we have to agree on a type of crown. That will be talked about in the upcoming week. Eric will probably pick his crown, and we will not hear the end of it. 17 seconds left here. at halftime at Don Breeze Stadium. Always a good place to call a football game, Jeffrey Orban. A lot of fun up here. Rangers and Bears. We thought the Rangers were going to go scouting and hunting tonight, but the tables have been turned. The Bears are turning the tables on the Rangers tonight.
Well, Eric Singer, excuse me. My goodness. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll give Eric the crown, and if we misbehave, he may crown us. But anyway,
yes.
The big Bears, Isaiah Sanders, he has just had such a performance tonight. 4 touchdown passes,
yep.
and the Bears have just gotten in behind him, and they lead at 41-7. Lewis Palmer will get the ball to start the second half. And right now, I don't think you do anything except just try to play your game, get Pavlik untracked a little bit, get a couple of scores, make it a little bit more competitive. And you know what? 24 minutes of football. You look at the scoreboard and you go, okay, well, fans are going to start emptying out of the stadium. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think we could have some pretty good football played before this game is over. But Lewis Palmer has an opportunity to make something happen as they get the ball first. Let's see what transpires.
Well said. He's Jeffrey Orban. I'm George Holden. We also want to remind you that A&B Bank cares about our local community. One way A&B shows it is through their youth checking account. It's designed for students to help them manage their money. Open an account today to receive a free pair of copper sunglasses while supplies last. A&B looks forward to being your bank. A&B Bank, member FDIC, and also Austin Bluffs Chiropractic. You're in pain? Well, Austin Bluffs Chiropractic can help. Dr. Scott Cook is a former athlete. He knows pain and how to help you through it. Patient care is his #1 priority. Call and take care of your pain. And I can personally attest to Dr. Scott Cook. I had chronic neck and back pain, Jeffrey, sleeping for about 15 years, and Dr. Scott Cook did wonders for me. Wonderful guy. He's a wrestler, former wrestler from a small town in Colorado. Great guy. 1:11 left at halftime. Both teams warmed up a little bit, Jeffrey, onto the sidelines, and we'll see what Lewis Palmer and their coaching staff were able to, if they were able to get through to their players at halftime.
Well, Noah Sathry and Spencer Ward will be the deep men for the Rangers as we start the second half of play. We see the Bears breaking from their huddle on the far sideline and ready to tee this football up. So I think right now you just say keep swinging, keep fighting. Hey, we got 24 minutes. Let's battle. Let's not roll over. Some teams have a tendency to do that, but let's see if Lewis Palmer will just hang in there and make some plays.
The good news is for Lewis Palmer, they will get the football to start the second half. Had some sparks late in the second quarter. Got that touchdown, and then after that, it was a quick answer by Palmer Ridge.
That'll help.
6 passing touchdowns.
Too fast. Work that foot.
A couple of tackles. Palmer, great job. The offensive line fired up from the pump play. The big guy out to the nearest 44. They backed up at the 40-yard line.
All right, he might have. It's a loss. I mean, the Bears were on him. They made on the play. They've got to get something.
He's going to hand off to Pavlik. 4 was senior 6'1",
They're not.
Tim's fire into the 40. Orban coming up.
Been intercepted. I'm sorry. Yeah, Lewis Palmer.
Well, Paul's here live on Gazette.
Football is damaging to the rescue when your home is a most one call 37850.
And it is going to get down to about the 11. Ridge is going to have.
All right, and let's play Isaiah Sanders.
Phenomenal pitched in this football game thus far. And turns it up to Ambrose. Good now, Jeffrey.
And good run blitz. Tackle was Jared Pope. Lewis Palmer, even though they are.
It'll be 3rd down and here at Don Breeze. Yep. Active on defense. Have their hands full with this Palmer Ridge offense. Receiver.
I think that might have gone. Making the tackle. See, they get the first down off of that.
And Ambrose getting 1 green and a whistle. Singer made his call earlier. Had to take control up here and make the call. Right or wrong. But it's even when I'm not sure. 0-2.
Before the night's out.
Sanders spins, breaks another. He said during
a lot of fun. CSU
breaks one time by Ambrose. More importantly, set it up with the run in the first 2.
Former Rangers sit back.
Yep, Ranger Recon. Here we go. 41 up on the far side. We got Tripp on the near side. His feet.
Play the player that made. Let's see that what Lewis Palmer needed to see for the to be.
He'll be at his 30. Could use a big play on special teams right now.
Yes, sir, they could. Yes.
This is rare. Them right at the. It gets out of bounds. So good executing.
To get exactly what they had to do on. We'll do offense. 6:46 and
here we go. Quarterback. Wait the count. It's up. Look and play. Call him 44. Just overshoots.
We talked. Made a.
And if you're the defense gives you right now, having it, and in there for Palmer Ridge. That is a good job of getting a hold of that angle. 3rd down and 11. Keep these drives alive.
Palmer Ridge life out of Lewis trying to short circuit.
Play action fake. He's got time. Runs in the junior.
Right now, you know, too good. And as a little
6 yard, I think he'd want to get good punts at the 3rd. 2 good punts in a row, and that's 1-7 left in time.
Rough contacts, pounding rain, and your home is dead. Or your piece of 88 fit.
Far side, that's Athry. 2nd down and 10. He is not going to rub it. 5:22 and count. Things happen. You got to be pro. Sanders out of shot. And back to Varnick, the big guy. Again, 6'6", 230 over the middle.
Tristan Barkley was the guy who was assigned to bring him down. Continue to move.
Again, number 25, low. Palmer Ridge. Been on the defender's back. Reception, catch at the park. 34. They're just in their side. 13. I want to say that name, the junior on that receiver.
Well, and you wonder on how big these kids are.
Lord. And Ambrose, so this ended up west side the red zone of Lewis. Across, Sanders breaks up to the smooth sand. Fluid as offensive time. He finds him
tonight.
Offensively,
he's been in the backfield a couple of times tonight. This young man's had a strong football game for the Rangers.
Young from the 16. Sanders is looking over a timeout. We'll take a quick timeout as well. During the timeout, High Point Roofing. High Point Roofing's pledge to you is simple. Get repairs right the first time. High Point Roofing, 719-375-8850. One call means peace of mind for you and your family.
And fans, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at Gazette Prairie. A pleasure to Bears zone
offense. The last week was Bulls and is that good?
Where they could see that coming, George.
Now things are going there. Players in and out. We'll take a quick timeout. Bears with the ball live at Gazette.com.
A bone have to be your constant companion. Austin Bluffs Chiropractic can help. Dr. Scott through it. Dr. Cook's promise to you is simple. If he can't, specialist who can. 11. It's time to cook at Austin Bluffs Chiropractic.
Seatbelts for 4th and for the first
spot in the football. Yes. Now let's see if that is going to.
Did he? It's a stand back at their 11 yard, but you got to keep it down. Pledge to you 19 you and 13-yard line. Find it up. Flag flying. I think that's going to be
the fake coming out, picking up the football. Let's see if he's. I believe Bears.
That's I got from Eric Singer and his call early. Quarterback, not a big guy down there with a American Dubation. To the 4. Great block speed for the touchdown.
And folks, that's why he is a 65-yard touchdown run for Pavlik. That's his 3rd touchdown of the year. And oh, what a lift that has got to give the Rangers right now.
Wow. And just like that, they needed a big play. And Pavlik said, I have been stifled enough tonight. I'm getting mine. And he does, and he shows some speed. Lewis Palmer before the game said he's not a real fast kid. He's quick. I think right there he showed some pretty good speed.
Looks pretty fast to me.
The PAT by Lewis Palmer. It's through, and it's true. And guess what? Lewis Palmer, they're still wanting to make a football game out of this. The Palmer Ridge Bears 41, Lewis Palmer 14. With 1:58 left here in the 3rd quarter, we'll take a quick break to recognize our sponsors. Here, you're listening and watching high school football live on Gazette.com.
Hi, this is Tom Ashley, president of A&B Bank in Colorado Springs. As an independent, community-focused bank, we're proud supporters of many youth and high school activities in the Colorado Springs area. In addition to monetary support, we've also designed a youth checking account to help students manage their money. The account is designed for students ages 15 through 22, has great benefits, including a debit card at Colorado Springs locations. We look forward to being your bank. A&B Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome back, everybody. Glad you could join us for high school football at Don Breeze Stadium Monument here on Gazette.com. This is live. Jeffrey Orman, and I'm George Holden, having a lot of fun here watching a lot of big plays. It looked like Lewis Palmer was down for the count a little bit ago, but Nick Pavlik had a 65-yard touchdown run down the near sideline and says, we're not ready to give up yet. Lewis Palmer kicks off from their 40. Good kick all the way down to the 2. And it's bobbled and fumbled, and here he comes. He gets possession of it, weaves his way through traffic, driven down that time, Jeffrey.
It really was, and they were trying to force a fumble right there and get deep into the Bears' territory. They made the hit, so they're not giving up. I like the way Lewis Palmer is still sticking their... They're playing shutout ball in the second half. They just got a huge 65-yard touchdown run by Pavlik, finishing off a drive, and now they're asked to do it again.
Yep. In the game of football, and like a lot of games, you're always coached and told to do here with 1:50 left in the third quarter. Still got another quarter that they could active and not reactive. Here we go. Palmer Ridge on motion coming across. He is going to hand off. Great job by the defensive front for the Lewis Palmer Rangers. They stayed home, played disciplined football.
Leading the assault, we've called this gentleman's name tonight. Curran Chapman was one of the first people in there to make the hit, and that is going to force a loss on the play. Back to about the 19, it'll be a 2nd and 11.
Lewis Palmer can make a stop here and get more points. They can make this game interesting quickly. Got to take it one play at a time. Sanders fakes, fires at the flat, got his receiver at the 24. He is tackled. That is number 23 on the reception, Bailey Rosenstrauch. There's about 4 or 5 receivers that Sanders has thrown the football to tonight. And when he throws that football, that ball comes out crisp with a tight spiral. Big kid, too, 6'2", pushing 200 pounds. 3rd and 8. And athletic with that size.
Oh, I'm telling you what, this kid is a jewel. This kid is an absolute jewel to watch, Isaiah Sanders.
Big stop here, hopefully for Lewis Palmer. Sanders fires over the middle, got his receiver, sits down in coverage at the 31. That is number 10, Sam Wells, the senior. Another receiver getting in on the action. He gets the first down. And, you know, not enough credit can be said. We've talked about Sanders, the quarterback, and his skilled players, his receivers, but that offensive line for Palmer Ridge has been lights out tonight.
Yeah, they really have been, and I think he's been sacked maybe twice tonight, but still.
Sanders, play action fake, screen to the near side. That's Wells, again, makes the catch, bumps into one of his receivers, and he is going to be met by a host of Ranger tacklers at the 35-yard line. Under 20 seconds left in the third quarter.
And 2 of them being Michael Corkill and Howard Weber combined to make the tackle as we come down to the last 11 seconds of the period, and I think that's going to do it for round 3.
Yep, I would have to agree with you, Jeffrey. Fun third quarter. A lot of action, picked up where they left off. And guess what, folks? 3 quarters are in the books here at Don Breeze Stadium. We have 1 quarter to go. It's been a lot of fun. We've got 1 quarter left. Could get interesting here. George Holden along with Jeffrey Orman. The Palmer Ridge Bears lead the Lewis Palmer Rangers 41-14. We'll take a quick break and get ready to start the 4th period here at Don Breeze Stadium. You're listening and watching high school football in Colorado Springs live on Gazette.com.
Small Town Appliance Company is here to provide solutions to your appliance needs. Warm fridge, washer full of water. Call 694-4707. Or, do you need a quality reconditioned appliance to replace your old appliances? Call 694-4707. How about a kitchen update? Come see our new Whirlpool Appliance showroom at Austin Bluffs and Barnes, just behind Big O Tires. Or, Whirlpool Appliance Center for your new appliance needs. Built in America, by Americans, to be sold to Americans.
Getting set. Palmer Ridge and Sanders back on offense. 2nd and 7. Fires by number 24, Howard Weber. Met him chest to chest on the far side.
Short as the Bears are in possession of what they have to do.
Basically imposing their will. Fake handoff. Defensively up front for Lewis Palmer, Jeff.
Yeah, I just have to say, are we going to Lewis Palmer
tonight?
Yep.
It's about having to the tank going for it. A lot of effort, but he 13-6 into the 4th quarter. Buenavista here at Don Breeze Stadium. Buenavista, I believe, is the #1. Always had a good, strong football. And he was a tackle of Ambrose, number 24. Touchdown in this football game. Good. I'll tell you what, and some more, another score, TJ.
I guess they are. They met.
And I believe Harold, it's 80. Had a lot to cheer. 20 gets a good block.
They're just beating on Lewis Palmer, wearing him down, and they're
the pants on the season. We'll see. 10, number 20. That
I did indeed.
For Palmer Ridge. Offense was impressive last week. This Palmer Ridge offense is pretty impressive here too.
They're not half bad, are they?
Nope, it's good. Barely got it wide, but here at lead 48-14 over this. Next week
we plays 80 up with everybody that's been scoring for the Bears. I think that's Weber's first, and the Bears.
I want to remind you that High Point Roofing is your mind for you, Andes. You can see the trap. Here we go. The kickoff, Palmer Ridge. They have been explosive, to say the least, tonight. Here comes Lewis Palmer with a good-looking return all the way out to the 35-yard line for the Rangers. And the return man on that, number 25, Noah Sathry, the 5'8", 139-pound senior. He's had a good night on both sides of the football. Gets up inside that wedge, gets a good run back. And right now, it is final. Kevin Carmody from the Gazette has told us TCA's beat Discovery Canyon 27-8. So TCA and Wilden Park in the fourth quarter leads Summit 20-6. Thank you, Kevin. 1st and 10. Tim's the quarterback, running for his life, and going backward, falls down, has to take the sack. And we've got a Lewis Palmer Ranger limping. Number 21, Dylan Ellis. He's had a good night too. He's gonna walk it off. 2nd down and 20. Big loss. All the way back to the 25. Remind you also, if you like prep sports, follow us on Twitter at Gazette Preps for more high school sports coverage here in the Colorado Springs area. On the boards and the wires, and TR behind, and other good stuff. Here we go. He's met at the 35 and said the 3rd leading rusher in Class 3A, trying to get something going here in the fourth quarter.
Chase Duke, 9-minute mark here in the football game, and I'll tell you what, the last 2 schools that have had Ridge at the end of them have been pretty.
Wolves and Bears.
I don't know. Riva Ridge. I mean, well, who's
all dressed up? Nowhere to go. Palmer Ridge all over it. One of the tacklers there to name Chase Dukes. Sounds like a spy guy in a mystery novel or something.
Yeah,
Chase Dukes.
An action hero.
Yeah. Chase Dukes.
Chase Dukes.
Introducing
Enforcer.
Chase Dukes.
There you go.
4th and 6. Obviously, believe they're going to go for it here. And I think we have a backup quarterback in the football game. That is number 19, Tyler Deloche. Senior, 5'10", 146. Thought it was a quarterback. It's not.
I'm throwing a flag on you. That's all there's to it.
25. A fake. Spencer Ward, the junior. Palmer Ridge. So Palmer Ridge starts to sub some different.
As the ball will be Palmer Rangers.
The last night will be, it's
Manning would just
10. Favor coverage by Lou Ford. He's fighting. Wasn't going to let
throw on a great 2nd down and 10. Bring the
I'm
house.
surprised. He'll get a couple, but he'll earn it. Pop it and bang it away. Ford says Fins are folding it.
Springs, Northern Colorado.
He was back there. Sam does a good job with lockdown coverage. Nothing there.
About this young, my gridiron gamer. I'll get the one for Lewis Palmer. I got my guy.
Yep. It's going down to about the 13 to the football game. Palmer Ridge up 48, 14-yard line. I want to remind you that High Point ranked the first time. Halloween's peace of mind for you and your family. We're at Don Bree Stadium, as we said. I'm George Holden. He's Jeffrey Orman. I want to thank Eric Singer for the updates as well and everything he does to make it possible for us to be here doing these games. Also, a big thanks to AJ here. Very quiet, very studious, doing his workmanlike job. Fires it in the flat. Pass is caught at the Tucker Millen 17. Makes the catch field. They've got some young players.
Tell you they are. They're not ready to pull the chain on this game yet. 6'4" Ridge in command, 48-14. But I'll tell you right.
Oh, he's going to hand to the left side of Isomer Ridge. You hear word. You can't complain after that.
And the Bears will enjoy this victory.
To the right side, goes to the far side. Fires. He's going to load up, go long. He's got a receiver. But guess what? It's going to get picked off for Palmer Ridge. Colin Ambrose.
Well, they've got some talent. There is Bears right now. Now it's just a case of many picks that maybe Ambrose hold, but unfortunately those statistics are not available to us at this time.
Still in the game, Isaiah Sanders with trying to milk some clock here. Hands off to his back. But enough for another first down. Pretty Pine coming in tonight in this division. Air Academy at 1-1. We'll play Cheyenne Mountain. They're having it's Harrison, Lewis Palmer, Mitchell. Harrison and Mitchell, they won 1-1.
That last play, George, as the Bears comfortably in front.
But now his fullback is going to move into the backfield with him. Off to his back. Good team looking for answers. And I know we were talking about Cheyenne Mountain will play these. Lewis Palmer will play Florida, but for a school.
Yeah. Speed.
Sanders, another completion. Much tonight with Sanders in that offense.
No, we have not. And that play they wanted to called.
More from the 29 sponsors. Get ready, 50. One call. Sponsors come on board. A lot of fun. a wealth of players you could choose from. Last hard not to go back to it.
Very, very easy. I think the trigger man for the Bears is pretty upright. He's
to mid every time this
is 11th in the state in the Class 4. In high school, they do it average yards per game, and Grubb is certainly.
We said Cheyenne Mountain, then they'll have Rampart, Durango, Air Academy, Liberty, Pine Creek. If this thing, hand off through the middle. Fumble from up here, but that's why they're the officials and we're not. There's also Kevin Cohen apiece. That's 6. He's going to hand off the end of Duke, Don Breeze Stadium.
And once again, they are doing it running and pass. I can pick out enough numbers.
But nobody did it. Lewis Palmer's sideline jumps up. That was number 23. That all the starters on offense are still in for Palmer.
Guard Chase walks. Right left tackle to go, fellas. You deserve it. You get your shout out for the night. And boy, you deserve it.
Let's see. They try to run up. Still agile, mobile, hostile. They're getting after Mesa Ridge all over Cheyenne Mountain at 31, 12 and counting. Palmer Ridge will go 3 next week. Sanders play action fake, fires in the flat. Another Corey McClellan, the sophomore receivers in high school football.
Wow, point taken there. Maybe that's why the ball has 6'5" guys. Probably the best we've seen this year, George.
Palmer Ridge tries to run to the near side. That's number 21, Chase Dukes, and he has bet hard. 27. Pick up a 3. High Point Roofing is your lifeline after the storm. High Point Roofing's pledge to you is simple: get repairs right the first time. High Point Roofing, 719-375-8850. One call means peace of mind for you and your family.
Follow us on
2nd and 7.
Oh, we'll do that after this play.
Okay. 2nd and 7. Closing in on a minute. It has been an active football game tonight. Handoff through the middle. Good tackle. But, Jeffrey, we've got a flag on the far side.
Remind you, fans, that you can follow us on Twitter at Gazette Preps for more high school sports coverage in the Colorado Springs area. Thank you.
Another update by Eric Singer on scores, Jeffrey. Late third quarter, Vista Ridge beating Ponderosa 34-21. Setting the stage, if Vista Ridge and Pine Creek, that could be for seedings in Class 4A and the stuff, getting into the driver's seat for the playoffs.
Well, it's just lost my train of thought here, but anyway.
Sanders still in there with under. That's Chase Duke.
On a bit of a roll as far as...
No, I think it's 29.
20 at 29? Okay.
They're out at 29.
Maybe they're so good. We'll ask Scott over here. And
yep.
They're just killing people out there.
Yeah, we're coming up on the post-game show. Scotty K from the Gazette Preps will be in here with us in the post-game show to talk about this football game and some other teams in the area. When we close this one. Clock stops at 16.7 seconds. Now it resumes. And I believe, Jeffrey, that's probably the last play. Both teams looking like they're getting ready to shake hands. I think that's going to be the last play of the game.
Yeah, and what a performance by the Palmer Ridge Bears, who, by the way, for the 2nd year in a row, they will win the General Palmer Cup, which is awarded to the Black and Blue Bowl champion. And this year, for the 2nd year in a row, it goes to the Palmer Ridge Bears. What a show, especially by Isaiah Sanders.
Yep, well said. That'll do. Palmer Ridge Care Business Team, they will go 3 here on Gazette here.
Is Colorado's damaging hail skew when your home is damaged. Work with Get It 718850.
Don George Holden along with Jeff. They get a big update from our very own Eric.
TCA Aurora Sierra 8, thanks to our crew at the speed on finals.
In the books, Lawrence, next team, the
Ridge Bears, 2nd year in a row. If you're looking for right now, what can you say about Isaiah? He is the Palmer Ridge. You've got to find a way to contain Isaiah Sanders. But they're pretty salty on defense. But Isaiah Sanders, even though it's early in the season, the most
good one. He's Jeffrey Orman. I'm George. Eric saying we've got another
Cheyenne Mountains
in for us on Twitter. But Jeff, we talked about out fighting tonight. They had their, what do they need to do to get back?
Get too far behind. This is easy to say when it's 48. For defense, I think they just need to, because they're going to have a terrible time coming from behind them. When we get to our gridiron gamer is going to be from the D side of the ball.
Yep. Gazette.com, Storm, High Point Roofing, 719-32. And you said you were picking the Gridiron Gamer Fortal teams. Palmer Ridge made it happen. A standout performance. The guy that pulls the trigger, that sets up his play, his smooth Sanders. The quarterback for Palmer Ridge. Jeffrey, he had 358 passing yards. Ball hit the turf here tonight for Ridge Bears.
And the best I've seen so far. Well, my gridiron, officially, I have him for father. Just prior to the game, he's a young man who hopes to go to the Coast Guard Academy. For the Lewis Palmer Rangers, I give my gridiron gamer to Curran Chapman.
He's Jeffrey Orman. I'm George Holden. We're here in the booth. Eric Singer tonight on stats and all that good stuff. It's week 4. Next week, our season. Looking forward to seeing that one. Kickoff as you
look forward to it, and it's been a pleasure when they've shifted all these leagues and divisions. They've kind of kept everybody in the north and south side, whereas in the past, you know, you got a good look at some of the Colorado Springs schools, and it is a pleasure to see that. Could be really, really exciting to watch.
Well said. All right, folks, well, that's going to do it in Class 4A. The Bears keep rolling. Palmer Ridge with a big win, 48-14 over the 3A Lewis Palmer Rangers. That's for our Statman team. Folks, have a fun and safe weekend. We'll see you next Friday night at pregame, 6:55 at TCA, the Classical Academy in Colorado Springs. Until then, again, have a fun and safe weekend. We'll see you next week. So long, folks.
This has been the Gazette Prep Game of the Week, live on Gazette.com. We'll have all your Preps football scores and stories about the games in the Gazette and on Gazette.com. I'm Eric Singer. Have a great weekend.